Bible underneath my right hand. I made it out of tight jams. Guns all on my nightstand. My life should be on Viceland. My fingertips to hold the marijuana aroma. High school, I went to school high, still got my diploma. He got riddled and left alone for some Skittles in Arizona. Bible underneath my right hand. I made it out of tight jams.
Uncreative Radio. I am with my homie, DeAnna.
Yeah,
Hi.
Here we go. Hey, how's it going?
I'm surprised that I haven't even had you on yet.
I don't think I was ready yet, maybe. Maybe now's my time.
That's like some deep shit out of the gate.
You know?
Maybe I wasn't ready yet.
We weren't ready for this
I was
yet.
expecting you to be like, yeah, Josh, what the fuck? But
No.
you're like, maybe. You just internalize that shit so quick.
Yeah, I thought about that. I did. I thought about that before. When Amy asked me, I was like, there's something about today that...
It's the time. You look really good.
Thank you.
You look really good. Your hair is really good.
I appreciate it. Shout out to Casey Grace.
Yeah,
my
Casey,
stylist.
you're doing something right in your life. And you're a makeup artist, you're a hairstylist.
Right.
You probably should do, you should probably look good.
I should look decent at least.
You look very good. And I will
appreciate
say
that.
this, you consistently look good.
You've seen me in many phases. Let's be honest here. You've seen me not look so good, and there's video evidence of it. There's many videos of it, okay?
That's it. You're stupid. I got a text from you yesterday. I'm doing it.
Go for it.
I'm doing it right now.
I told you nothing's off limits.
Can you tell? Now, hold on. Okay, so a little bit ago, we have to talk about a lot of things, but you recently got a lot more tattoos.
No.
Didn't you get a lot more tattoos?
No.
It seems like you did. From which one is the newest tattoo?
Oof, that's a good one.
Isn't this new?
That one, my chest piece I did, I think 2 years ago.
That's what I think I mean.
Yeah, that one was like the biggest
so
one
2
that everybody
years is
noticed.
very old, just so you know, Josh.
Well, because I've been getting tattooed since I was 16, and I'm about to be 33, so it's been...
Are you about to be 33?
In August,
so
yeah.
16 was your first tattoo?
Was my first tattoo.
Which one was the first one?
It was an angel on my right shoulder from my mom when she passed away. Yeah.
Wow. And then now, which is your most recent tattoo?
My boyfriend and I got tattooed out of town. I'm trying to think. I think it was it Asheville, North Carolina? Where did we go? Oh, Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. I got, they have a trail there, like a nature trail called the Doll Head Trail.
Okay.
So I got a baby doll head tattooed on the back of my leg.
Got it. Okay, man. And how many tattoos is this for you so far?
1 million. I literally have no idea.
Okay. I'm going on this. You got this Inked magazine thing.
Yes.
And you submitted as what is this? This is a contest.
Okay, so
just break me down, because I'm seeing some very interesting photos here.
There's some interesting photos in there.
You look drop dead right here.
So that's Nikki Boudoir.
You look really good.
Thank you so much. It's one of my photographers that I work with. She does boudoir photography in Miami.
Okay.
She specializes in it. She asked me to shoot because I do hair and makeup for her.
You look great.
Thank you so much. So she shot those for me, and then she actually sent me the link for the Ink magazine shoot, I believe 2 days ago. So I entered totally last minute.
What do I do here? I'm supposed to be voting.
You have to be logged into Facebook. So you just click.
I don't have a Facebook.
Oh, well, you're screwed already.
So I just go here to free
Amy
daily
did it for
vote.
me. Don't worry about it.
Okay, can our vote count twice? So you can say Josh is on here too.
I think so. I think so, yeah.
Okay, so I just want to tell everyone where to go. This is Ink magazine. DeAnna's on here.
Yeah, I mean, the link is on my Facebook right now. It's on my Instagram, @Kahn I Do Your Hair on Instagram, DeAnna Kahn on Facebook.
You're first right now.
It ends, yeah, I know.
It ends in 7 hours.
It ends in 7 hours, yes.
Everyone needs to vote.
Everyone needs to vote. And then there's a top 15
This is really cool.
after this. So
This is
I'm
really cool.
first in the group.
This is really cool.
It's something I always kind of wanted to do.
But this to me looks really scary. Like, to put yourself out there like that, like, because you're a businesswoman, you're doing your thing, and you're such a non-judgmental person, and you're really, really cool, and I've known you for a long time. But to take photos like that, you take still, to me, at 33 years old, you're a woman, that takes some courage, right? Or was it very natural for you?
Josh, there's a whole backstory behind me showing my body, so...
Yeah, like, I would not, I mean, that takes courage.
It does, but I mean, I was an exotic dancer for 5 years, so that probably takes a lot more courage than luckily when I was doing it, Instagram wasn't really a thing. Facebook was, so maybe there's some pictures circulating around from like, don't choke, from like 2010 or something like that on Facebook of me somewhere drunk. But
now tell people, because no one knows that you were an exotic dancer.
I've been very, very quiet about it
until right now. We're putting it on the radio.
This is the second time in 2 weeks that I've made that public.
Wow.
The first time was Casey and I, my stylist at Blondie's Beauty Salon, did a YouTube video and we talked about it on there. That was my first time ever like saying it on camera, just saying it in general.
What is it about people where you feel like you've done something in your past and you're like, you can't share it with people because everyone on Instagram is like, enjoy your life, and it's like, be you, and right. But people are judgmental as fuck.
Right. So for me, it wasn't too much about what people thought, even though obviously that matters to some extent in business. Sure. When you're trying to build a brand and you don't want to be associated with certain things or put into some kind of category. But for me, it was really just about finding myself and getting myself to a mental place where I could fully accept myself, which I can't say that I'm 100% there yet because maybe we're all on that journey for our whole lives. But I could definitely say almost at 33, I'm closer than I've ever been to that place.
Okay, so how old were you when you did that, and then how'd you get into it, and what got you out of it, and what got you into makeup, and give me the thing.
For sure. So I remember
I don't even know this. I haven't even asked you this.
Yeah, I know. This is like a whole new conversation.
It's a very weird thing.
Well, because normally you're really busy
I'm really
on set.
busy.
We don't get to have this conversation on set.
Thanks. Good. Right. All right, see you next time.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, so crazy story. So I guess I could go as far back as like high school.
Yeah.
High school, I dropped out of high school right before I was getting my diploma.
I didn't know that.
I went through this whole like Pink Floyd The Wall phase.
Got it.
Smoked a lot of weed.
Got it.
And I was just really rebellious. My mom had passed my freshman year and I was just like hopping from like house to house kind of.
And that obviously affected quite a deal.
I was done with high school when she passed away and I was a freshman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of just looked at everybody like everybody's like partying and having fun and I'm miserable. Like I hate this place. Get me out. Like I'm ready to be an adult. I need to like get my own place and live life.
And you're like 14.
Yes, exactly. Right. Exactly. So when I turned 18, I got my own apartment and I got my GED. I didn't get my diploma. I got my GED and I tried to, I was like really into law at the time, which is weird and random. I had a teacher named Miss Morley in my high school and I'll always remember her. She was my political science teacher.
It's very interesting to me when people remember teachers' names.
I love her.
I feel like every time people remember teachers, they're like, yes. It's like it gives them, there's some teacher like,
It's like Miss Major who called me weird.
Yeah.
We could talk about that later.
Yeah.
So, Miss Morley, like she really got me into the Carrie campaign. Like I was all involved with that at the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's so crazy because I was just really into politics and I was really into the government and I was really into like standing up for what's right. And I thought I really wanted to do something with it. So I went to, actually it was called Everest at the time. I think it was Florida Metropolitan University. I forgot which one it was first.
Everest.
But they may not even be around anymore.
Yeah,
I think
Everest is a thing.
Okay, well, I went there for a little while. I was in the program and I just realized like I'm going to be a slave to some lawyer if I end up being a paralegal. I'm not going to make the money I really probably want to make, and I'm not going to have any freedom, and I'm going to have to do all their work.
Right.
So I got a little discouraged and I realized it's not what I wanted to do. So I decided to switch. I was living in Tampa at the time, so I decided to switch to Hillsborough Community College from Everest.
Okay.
And I decided to do like a liberal arts degree because I had no idea what I wanted to do. And this is a fun fact too that you don't know about me. I actually was going into broadcasting at the time.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I definitely did not know this.
I wanted to do like sound engineering or something on radio, so I was volunteering for, I think it's WMNF which is like the public broadcast station there. They did like really dope radio shows and I would like volunteer with them. They had like a little arts fair that they would do in downtown Tampa and all these things.
And at this point you're putting yourself through school. Like how are you doing this? How are you are you supporting yourself? Like what's happening? What's happening here?
What happened was my mom had a life insurance policy that my grandfather took out for her because we knew she was going to pass away. She was a heroin addict, so it just wasn't.
What a tough.
It was crazy. So I ended up spending it all out, of course, because I was 18 and really stupid. I bought like 20-inch rims on my black Toyota Corolla stupid shit like that.
You're so black. You're so black.
Can we save that for the next?
Sorry, it's just to me. The first thing you said is a life insurance policy and 20-inch rims.
And my ex would remember this because he was like, "Those are never gonna fit on that car," and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna fucking fit."
And you got 20-inch rims. You're welcome. You have a black card.
Yeah, it was bad. It might have been 18s, but I think it was 20s, and they were chrome with black inserts. They were bomb. They were Status. I still remember the brand.
Stop it.
And I busted one on 75, and after that, I never did it again. I sold them real quick.
Right.
That was real stupid.
That's
biggest waste of a few thousand I ever spent.
Yeah. And you thought you were cool for like a
really
day.
Cool. And at the time, I was partying, and like in Tampa, it was just really cool to like get dressed up and go to the club and have a new outfit every night. So I'd go to like the mall. Yeah.
That was cool.
It's lame as hell.
I don't even
that's
understand
like the cool. It's probably still cool there.
So hold on, it was cool to have a new go out every night or have a new outfit.
Both.
I don't even understand.
This was even really before social media was big. I think MySpace was big at the time.
I don't understand why was it cool to have a new outfit? Just like you look at her, she's got.
It's like the match thing, like your shoes match your.
She's doing a whole
she's
thing.
doing it.
She's got it together.
You're showing out. You're going to Ybor City, and people are in Tampa are laughing so hard if they listen to this right now. And you're going to the clubs and you're standing in line, or if you know the door guy, you're not standing in line.
Right. Okay. So you're doing that. Okay.
Yes.
You pulled up in your Camry with your 20-inch rims.
Tangents. Right. Exactly.
Okay.
So I was hanging out. I was doing a lot of like just hood shit that I just shouldn't. Yeah. I was selling weed at the time. I was going to college.
Why is Tampa so hood?
You know, it's funny that a lot of people probably wouldn't think of it as that way,
it's
but
so ghetto.
it's such a bizarre city because I mean it's kind of
little spots.
Fort Lauderdale's kind of similar though, where it's
weird.
like suburban, and then it's like there's an area called Town and Country over there that you would think's the suburbs, but there's like Latin Kings over there.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. Tampa's crazy. There's a lot.
Crazy area.
I mean, when I was in high school, there were people getting shot all the time.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's a wild. Florida's a wild place, but Tampa's pretty
rough. People don't really. Yeah. They underestimate it a little bit, but I think they're kind of on a mission to prove how rough they are. Sometimes I think they've cleaned it up a lot too, but it's still pretty bad. And then the problem is, they tear down all the projects, and where do people go?
And they make them move to another one, the gentrification.
Gentrification, which I'm now a part of. Yeah. That my boyfriend informed me that I'm now a part of.
You're doing it.
Yeah, clearly.
You did it.
I'm doing it. Yeah, I have blondies, which that's a whole nother
It's like
topic.
Put a Starbucks next to me. But
right.
Okay, so you're partying every night.
Partying every night, and I was going to community college.
You got your new outfits.
Got my new outfits every night. I was really unmotivated in college, and what really messed me up was math. I hated math. I still hate math,
trash.
and I was doing prerequisite courses, courses that you take before you even get into college. So the high school courses that I didn't pass yet, I had to take in college.
Okay.
It just messed me up so much I didn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I had a neighbor at the time who started to get. She asked me one night. She's like, it was called Shangri-La at the time. I think now it's Scores.
Shangri-La.
Shangri-La
is the name of a club.
Is the name of a club in Tampa. I think it's called Scores now, but I'm not sure. It's right by Raymond James Stadium, right across from Odyssey and
You're
Mons
naming
Venus.
very specific spots.
Anyone in Tampa knows this.
Tampa,
right? It's down Mabry Highway,
Yeah.
one of the main streets. If you know strip clubs, you've heard of Mons Venus or 2001 Odyssey with the little spaceship above it.
Okay, got it.
But so we went there. She wanted me to go with her because she felt uncomfortable, going by herself. So
she felt uncomfortable going to a strip club.
Yeah, we were 20 or 19 or something at the time, and I don't know if she had a friend or someone just told her to do it. I don't know what happened, but she asked me to go with her. I went, and I'm just looking at these girls, and they're half naked, and I say half naked because in Tampa it's not full nude, full liquor. It's pasties and a thong.
So it's not real. Just
right,
kidding.
Exactly.
It's not fully South Florida.
Exactly. So they're with their pasties on and their thongs or whatever. But and I was just enamored with the confidence that these women had. I never had confidence.
Really weird,
I grew up in a weird, awkward spot.
Yeah.
I just felt awkward and weird.
Yeah.
And so I really admired that. And then when I saw her doing it and the money that there was to make, I was like, well, I can do this. Why can't I do this?
Did you instantly thought you could do this? Did you think there's no way strip clubs are a weird place for me. First, every time I'm at a strip club, I feel what you felt. I'm like, these girls are so fucking confident. Look at her up there. You're doing a great job.
Right.
That's the mode I go into.
Right.
That I'm just I could never in a million years just stand there, and then let alone make myself look like that, where people are like, yes.
I think you would be surprised because it's sort of in the way excuse me, when you're doing production or you're in front of a client, you become sort of another
Somebody
person.
else, yeah.
And that's what I did. I became another person. Even though I was still very much myself, you sort of embody this other person.
You kind of go to this other world. Okay, that makes sense.
Let's be honest. There was drugs and alcohol involved.
Sure,
so you're just on a whole
whatever.
other planet in general, right? which I swore that I would never do.
Is that like every stripper is like that's how they get through it?
I would say for the most part, I wouldn't say
not
all of them, because there were some that really would not really even drink, and then there were some that were like doing pills and just falling asleep at the bar.
Is it like something? Do strippers enjoy this? I mean, we're obviously talking about some. We're not talking about all here.
Right.
But do some? Did you enjoy it? Do some people enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it.
That's wild.
I loved it, and the reason is because I felt very powerful. I felt
you didn't feel vulnerable. You feel powerful.
Sometimes I felt vulnerable, but not really because of the way that dance. I think I just was in a vulnerable place. I was trying to find myself and figure it out. And at the time, I knew I was kind of lost.
Right.
But until it was like years into it, I didn't realize like how lost I was.
How long did you do that?
5 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 5 years.
So you made crazy ass money.
You know, to be honest with you, it's funny that you say that, because when I started dancing, a lot of the girls who were kind of like older than me would tell me like, oh, like you got in a little late, like back in the day, like we were making like thousands and thousands a night, and I was only making like maybe up to 1,000 a night at the time. So it's not like King of Diamonds and stuff down here. I was working at like little hole in the wall bars.
Right.
And the one that I worked at for like 5 years, I was pretty like loyal there. I was like very close with the people and best friends with the manager, and I was kind of like a big fish in a small pond, which is why I stayed.
It's like DeAnna coming to the stage or da 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 da. It was like, oh, everyone knows who she is.
Well, it was Selena. It was Selena. Yeah. Oh, there's so many people just enjoying. They're gonna enjoy the shit out of this right now. This is
fucking great.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So you enjoyed it. And you felt when you transformed to a different person.
Yeah,
you
I loved
enjoyed
it. I loved it.
Money wasn't what you thought it would be.
Money wasn't what I thought it would be, but it was sustainable. And then
But if you're talking a G a night and you work 2...
Not always.
Okay.
Like some nights you could literally, like you could sit there all night and not make anything, and then I would leave early and go to the club and party. Like that's the stupid shit we would do. And then I would also do stupid, like I was just stupid with my money. Like the mentality was, which a lot of people have when you work in like a tipping industry, is like, I'll make it back tomorrow.
That's wild.
Like I could spend it because I'll make it back tomorrow.
Make it back tomorrow.
Right. And that was the mentality back then. Like we'd work till like 3 a.m, and then we'd go to the after hours bar, and then sometimes there was actually an after hours bar that you could dance at, so sometimes we'd go dance at the after hours bar, make money until like 7 a.m, and then go home and do it all over again.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. Did anyone teach you money? Like, is that like at the time you're just like, that's what you were doing with money?
My grandfather, bless his little heart, he tried so hard for so many years to get through to me about so many things. And I was always very honest with him about what I was doing, and what we were just like best friends.
So he knew.
He knows more about me than like so many people.
Wow.
Him and I are very close.
When did you guys get close? How?
When I was a baby.
That's crazy.
He's my mother's dad, and him and I, my mother's dad, him and I were very close.
So he felt
my whole
very
life.
Responsible for you.
He was very responsible for me.
Yeah.
He asked me to come live with him a couple times, but just because of like our age difference and where he was living in Florida, like I really wanted to stay in Tampa. He was like a couple hours south,
Got it.
I just knew that like we didn't have that relationship.
Right. So keep it good before we live together.
Right.
And,
before we kill each other.
Before we kill each other.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay.
So I did live with my dad for a little while.
Okay.
But and that. I hate to talk about it like that now because he passed away, but he knew that I was he tried to be like my dad at that point, and I just wasn't really trying to hear it, and I was already too far past that. So like
you'd already been living by yourself, and
I was just kind of like living on my. It wasn't even that I was living by myself. I was just like in my own world doing my own thing, and I was like, my mom didn't even tell me what to do. So like, how is anyone else going to tell me what to do? So I just didn't take it seriously when like people tried to tell me what to do.
So what was the turning point? 5 years. Like, how did you change? How'd you get out of that?
I actually just told this story on the YouTube too, which is cool. So I had a friend named Leela at the time who was working for MAC Cosmetics. She was bartending with me because I sort of transitioned into bartending like towards the end, just to try to like slowly get myself out.
Why did you want to get out? Just kind of tired?
This exact reason, because she said to me one day, and this will always stick with me, but she said to me, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be sick of this. Like, what's going to be your plan?
Right.
And that's exactly what happened to me. One day, it was one of my birthdays. I think it was like my 24th or 25th birthday. I went to the DMV, and I had been doing so much drugs and drinking the night before that I locked up and turned purple and had a panic attack in the DMV.
Whoa.
And I knew at that point, like, if I didn't pull myself back, that I was going to die.
Wow.
And so...
When did I meet you?
2016.
How old are you? How old? That's 2016. What year is
that
it?
Was
2016?
Yeah.
So that's
So
like 5 years
5
ago?
years? Yeah,
Okay.
5 years ago.
Got it. Okay, I'm with it. Carry
I'm
on.
like, I can't do math. We
No.
just talked about this. Please don't put that much pressure on me. Panic, sweating.
How old are you in 1993?
Oh, God.
Okay. My God. Okay, so Leela gets you out. She
Leela-
dropped some knowledge.
She dropped some knowledge on me, and I'll never forget it. And so after she said that to me, I was like, holy shit, that's some real stuff right there. So that's exactly what happened. I woke up, I realized, and she told me, she was like, listen, you're really good at doing your own makeup. Why don't you try to come apply for MAC?
Because you're doing that every day.
Right. I had got to the point where like I was doing my makeup every night.
Got it.
And she was like, you're really good. You should start practicing on other people. So that's what I did. I started practicing on dancers and anyone that I could possibly get my hands on. I would start practicing on. And, she told me to go apply for MAC, but I was so uncomfortable because I had like a 5-year gap in job history. So I was like, let me go get my esthetician license.
Right. Oh, okay. And you didn't want to like, okay, got it.
So I was dancing while I was in school getting my esthetician license. So I'd be getting home at like 3, 4 in the morning, have to be at school at like 9 in the morning. I'd be hungover as shit going to school. Luckily, it was only like a 4-month program. I didn't decide to do my full cause license at the time because it was like 10 months to a year. And there was no way I would have been able to do that or even had the desire to do hair.
Right. That would have.
I was terrified of hair.
Right.
So I got my esthetician license. I started working for a company. One of my good friends, Michelle Renee in Tampa, she has a wedding company. She kind of brought me in. She was like, I don't want you dancing anymore. Let's get you out of there. Like, let me teach you how to do weddings. And because I always laugh at this because I would do makeup like a drag queen, because everything was like super extravagant. We did our first wedding together. I made a grandma look like a lady of the night, if I could say it so delicately.
That's pretty good.
She was like, whoa, we got to tone that back a little bit. So she worked with me a lot, and then she taught me how to do hair, like hair styling, and she really helped me a lot. And she was like kind of tried to talk me out of going to MAC because she was like, it's just retail, like you're gonna hate it.
Right.
But I could say working at MAC was one of the best decisions I ever made.
And you did that, and that kind of
Yeah.
Man.
And then,
first of all, I never even knew any of this.
Yeah, this is all new news.
This is
news.
Yeah, this is
breaking news.
Coming to you live.
From Fort Lauderdale.
Terrible. Well, man, do you look back on that and feel like what the fuck, or do you feel like?
Josh, I look back on that and I laugh because I was a horrible person back then. I was a terrible person. I was a bully. I was a thief. I was a liar. I was every bad thing that I could possibly think of. That was not me right now.
Everyone has a bit of that, though. Don't they? Like
I was
everyone,
just a savage. I didn't care.
But
I was
everyone
just
has
on a
a bit
mission
of-
to like destroy the world, I guess. And
yeah.
it really destroy myself is what
Destroy
I was on a
yourself.
mission. It wasn't even destroy the world. I was destroying myself. I
Right.
just didn't realize it at the time.
Right.
The power that I thought I had was really destroying me.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
And then you entered a world of makeup, and where I met you, like you were doing makeup now, freelancing, and you're doing your own thing, and people know you as a hair and makeup stylist.
Yeah, I mean, people down here definitely do. Like, obviously, Facebook connections in Tampa, my friends in Tampa, a lot of them knew. I don't know if my dad ever knew. I never got to ask him that. I think that he had an idea, but he was the kind of dude where we'd be watching TV and, like, he'd see a girl with short shorts and be like, oh, she's a hoe. So, like, I wasn't going to tell him,
Got it.
hey, I'm dancing, But I think he knew that I wasn't on the right path, and I know his sister, my aunt, knew, like, what I was doing. I did tell her, so I don't know if he knew, but he never said anything to me about it.
And then you got to Mac, and then I met you, and you're just full on freelancing. You're like doing it.
So what happened is I started working for Mac, and right when I got my foot in the door, I had to get my tonsils removed. So I had only been working there a couple months, and I met my friend Janice, who was working at Mac at the time. I love Janice. We still are good friends.
Shout out to Janice.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Janice. She's a makeup artist in Tampa too. And she told me, she was like, listen, you're young. Like, if you want to go somewhere and like do something bigger than this, like you should definitely get out of Tampa and do it. And she really encouraged me. And my grandma was living in West Palm Beach, and she kept saying, you should come move down here. Like, you should come move down here. So every time I would go visit her, I would start like migrating around. And I knew I didn't want to live in West Palm because it was boring to me.
West Palmy,
right. And so, but I came down to Fort Lauderdale. I had kind of been here once before with a friend. But my friend Christina's gonna laugh so hard about this. You know Christina, the makeup artist. She's gonna laugh so hard about this part right here. But so I went to Fort Lauderdale Beach, and I was sitting at Rock Bar, and it was nighttime, and I was having a drink, and I actually was sitting next to one of the owners. He owned Cheetahs in Las Vegas, and we were having a conversation, and I just had this feeling like I need to move here.
Wow.
She's gonna laugh so hard when she hears this. It's just an inside joke with us, but
she does.
Yeah, and so I was like, I need to move here, and like maybe like 3 months after that, I did.
Wow,
I had
just
my
did
stuff
it.
packed in my house for like 2 months, and I was like, if I don't get out of Tampa, I'm gonna end up dying.
You're gonna never.
I'm gonna die. So they wouldn't give me off at Mac for my tonsils. They wouldn't give me 2 weeks off. I was like new,
Right.
and I was part-time, so they're like, you
Right.
can't take a medical leave. So I was
Sure.
like, well, I guess I gotta quit
Well, I
then.
guess-
Well, after I had put in my letter of resignation, they told me to stay. They were like, oh, we'll make it work, like stay. I'm like, I'm sorry, I already put down on an apartment in Fort Lauderdale.
Right, I'm out.
So I came down here. I actually started working at Mac Aventura. I was freelancing at the time, and then I became a permanent artist. And then I worked with Mac for about 3.5, 4 years.
Wow.
And really when I kicked off with you guys was when I left Mac. 'Cause
That's
that was when we
crazy.
did the world tour.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was such a cool day that I was just like, I had known you for your work. I always thought was awesome.
Thank you.
And I thought just hanging, what you and I do is tough, because if you don't like who you do it with, you spend so much time with those people.
I wonder about that with you
With
guys
what we do?
because I know that hairstylists and makeup artists have the reputation of being kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, like,
Well, I could tell you a lot of stories.
I believe I've seen
I can
some
tell
of
you-
it, but I
tell you a
can
lot of
only
stories.
imagine.
And it's interesting. And so when we met you, I remember telling Amy, I was like, "Yo, she's it. Like, I want to work with her. I want to do that." And then when the world tour came up, I was just like, "Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Let's ask fucking DeAnna if she will come like to every country in the world."
And I had been gone from Mac for 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
So it was meant to be. Because when she asked me that,
you were
I
like,
left on, I was so aggravated with the company, and I couldn't stand my manager, and I couldn't stand the retail
you were just out of it.
environment that I was working in. I left without a job. I didn't even put in notice. I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm going to go crazy ape shit if I
Right.
stay here. So
Right.
I just,
So you left. We called.
2 weeks later.
We went to every country in the world. We
Yep.
did like 14 countries in 11 days.
Yep.
And then you kept doing that. You've obviously elevated your game, and now you're doing. And then what am I doing? I think I'm like sitting on the toilet at the time, and I think I'm seeing you talk on social media about blondies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is she doing?
What am I doing? I'm
And
still
you-
trying to.
I'm like,
Still asking
I couldn't even
myself
understand it. I was like, I knew you, and you opened a salon. You
did.
got like a brick and mortar, just so everyone understands.
During the pandemic.
Yeah, just so everyone understands. Let me put this in clarity. 2020.
Yeah.
DeAnna opened a salon, and not like, hey, she has a part of her house where there's a cool salon in the back. Like, this is another location, a separate location called Blondie's. This is your baby,
Right.
and you've been building this thing
Yeah.
starting last year.
Yeah. Starting in June of last year,
That's
June
nuts.
1st. It
It's
was
nuts.
nuts. It was nuts. I asked myself probably every single day, like, what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never run a business before. Like, I'm going to fail. This is terrible. I'm awful. Like, nobody's going to come here. Like, every doubt in the world, every drama.
And you're spending so much money.
Oh, the money's just flying.
It's flying,
I'm
baby.
watching my bank account just
Just
go
like
like this. Yeah, it's fun. It's real fun.
It's
if you want to have anxiety, open a business.
Open a business.
Just open a business.
What is it? Has it been what you thought it was going to be, or has it been difficult? Like what has opening a business been like for you? Because I've known, and talk about it versus freelancing. Like, as a freelancer, people are calling you, you're coming around. I remember we called you, come to Miami, do some stuff here. We come here, you blah blah blah. And now you have your own baby that you're all.
Right.
What's the difference of being a real business owner and freelancing?
Ooh, okay. There's kind of a big difference.
Yeah.
I would say the main thing is that I stress a little bit more now about really making sure that my clients in salon are taken care of. Luckily, I could say that I've been really blessed with most of the people that I have right now are through word of mouth. Some of them are
Yeah.
newer through Instagram, which I've never had before.
Which is crazy. Isn't
Yeah.
that weird? You're like, I saw you on Instagram.
Yeah,
and-
never had that
Yeah,
before. I'm
right.
actually like, our SEO is doing really well. So we have like good reviews. So we're getting hits on Google too. It's good things, but mainly my clients really understand like my lifestyle and my business, and also just in general, things need to be rescheduled sometimes.
right.
So
This
like
is how
they
things are
need,
going.
they need to be moved around and rescheduled. So if I've had a shoot or like I have to do something, the irony of it is that because I did this during the pandemic, I haven't been as busy with freelance. So I've really had time to just dedicate and
focus on that.
And be focused, exactly, on my clients at Blondie's.
And you had to do the whole thing. You came into the shop. It wasn't the way you wanted it. It wasn't like you were handed a perfect. You had to tear down everything.
No.
You had to rebuild everything. That's what I was looking at on the toilet. I was like, she's got a hammer,
So what happened was. See what happened was
what happens over there.
Right. So let me go back a minute to what happened was when the pandemic hit, I was making like X amount of grands a month.
Basically
from the moment I got out of hair school, I was like hitting the ground running. Out of town like every other.
Why does everyone have that same story? Here, let me paint this picture for you. Like you knew 2020, you were gonna like pop the fuck off.
Yeah.
You knew 2020 was gonna be like the year.
Yeah,
and all the momentum was there, and then COVID, and it was just like.
It was so funny because I started out the year last year doing a music video, and it was like, this is my era. And they asked me to be in it in the Bahamas, and there's a video of me, like a still shot that my boyfriend took of me with my hands in the air, like, this is my era.
And it was like,
and that was like the moment for 2020 in January.
And you were like, that's it.
Crap.
It's really weird now that we're in 21. 2020 felt like an eternity.
Yeah.
But then it also felt really fast. Like
it's bizarre.
It's already 21. I feel like the pandemic kind of just started, but then at the same time, it feels really slow.
It's weird. It's a weird place that we're in right now. I don't really have a concept of time. I kind of joke with that. Like, I don't even know what day it is anymore.
Do that. People ask me that all the time. Like, they're like, oh, what day ever? Like, my staff always just like, hey, happy Friday. I'm like, what?
I don't have any concept of Friday because I don't get Fridays. So I don't know what the hell Friday is. Like, screw off with Fridays. I don't know what Friday is. I'll work 7 days a week if I have to. I try to save at least one day for home, but
What's that been like? And you've freelanced for a while, so you know that life. But like, people don't understand the business balance of what actually goes into making it work, and the sacrifice.
For sure. So let me go back a second to the remodel, and then I'll go into that because this is an important part of the business. Like, I think that people have to understand when it came to what I did. I hope that people learn this lesson through me. I didn't do enough research. I got so excited of what was in front of me that I didn't take a look around. I went in with rose-colored glasses, basically.
Every first-time business owner does the same thing.
So I didn't figure that I was going to be doing hair full-time, okay? My plan was to stay hair and makeup stylist and just do my freelance thing, and I could do hair on the side if I needed to. But when the pandemic hit, I felt like super forced into doing hair because we didn't think makeup was going to be a thing anymore. We really thought, like, if you have to wear a mask and I have to wear a mask, I can't do your makeup. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So we thought, as makeup artists for a while, makeup was dead.
Wow.
We didn't know what was going to happen. So I was like, you know what?
And then no one's going out anymore, so like, why do I need... And shoots weren't happening.
Nothing was happening. Right. So the only thing that I could do is I was looking for a chair for rent or like a salon suite, right? To just post up and pay a weekly rate and just take clients whenever I can and just become better at hair. Like, basically force myself to fall in love with hair.
Got it.
So my boyfriend suggested look on Craigslist because I was like looking at salon suites and I was like, well, maybe I could just find a salon that would be cheaper because salon suites are usually like $300 a week or something like that. Well, there was a woman who posted on Craigslist that she was looking for a stylist to fill a chair for $150 a week. So I was like, well, shit, that's a steal. And it was right by my house in a great location. When I went to check out the salon, we had a good talk and everything. She gave me the lead that she was getting ready to retire and she wanted someone to pass her clients to, so I got excited about that. And then she kind of...
my book of business I want to give to someone, like, yes, please.
And then for some reason something triggered inside me and I was like, would you ever want to sell this place? And she's like, that's really weird that you say that because I actually did sell it to a guy in Chicago who was a hairdresser and he bought it. What? But he's putting it back on the market because he didn't do anything with it. It's just sitting here. He had planned to move down to Florida, I guess, but then decided not to.
Okay.
So she was like, I'll give you his number if you want to reach out. I'm getting ready to retire, so I still need someone to pass my clients to.
This is my phone. Hold on.
God, you're rude.
I know. Let's just see.
Breaking your own rules.
Let's just see who it is.
Okay.
Let's see who it is. Hello? Hello?
Hi, is that Beth there?
Nope. This is Josh, though.
Hi, Josh. My name is John. I was just calling
Hey, John.
to inquire some information
Okay.
about registering your business.
Oh, man. Hey, John, I'm actually I'm doing a radio show right now. John?
Oh. John? Hello?
John hung up.
He's like, oh, okay.
Let me turn this off. Sierra's going to be mad at me. Okay.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so Chicago, you call him.
Yes, I call him. He tells me he wants to put it on the market. This is like
weird.
COVID's going on. So we work out a deal.
That's crazy.
I had a lawyer at the time because this is even crazier that I was in the works to buy an RV to do a do you remember
Yes,
this?
you told me about this.
I was going to do
Yes,
a traveling mobile event salon for
yes.
like concerts, and because at the time everything was popping. So
Yeah.
we were going to go travel in this RV and like set up at like
Everywhere.
iHeartRadio shows
Right.
and things like that.
Right.
So I was in the works to do that. So I had a business attorney. I had everything going. Like everything was in the move for this. And then I was like, scratch that. I'm buying a salon.
Wow.
So she helped me a lot with that. But where I screwed up was I did go in and see the salon, but I didn't see the salon.
That's been my problem when we came into this studio.
Yeah, you get rose-colored glasses, and you're like potential.
Yeah.
But then you start to break everything down, and you're like, this is trash. This is trash. This is trash. This is trash. Like everything
Right.
was trash.
Right.
So I was like, I can't. If I'm gonna do this, I have to do it right.
Right.
So, and the amount of money that I was gonna invest in the RV versus the amount of money I was gonna invest in here was like peanuts compared to.
Right.
I was gonna spend out every last cent I had doing the RV.
Yeah, because the RV obviously
Right.
going to actually
So much money.
and
So many more. Such a headache. It would
Yeah.
have been such a headache. I'm really glad that that's not the route I went. Maybe in the future, but not right now.
Yeah. with
Blondie's RV. That'd be dope.
Yeah, someone else running that.
Yeah.
Someone driving it, fixing it, and doing
Something,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what happened. But work-life balance, it was hard for a while because I was always at home, like stressed on the phone, like, even still sometimes, like it's hard to find a balance. Like I try to put my phone down when I'm home.
Right.
But it's just hard because sometimes it's like de-engaging and like it's nonstop right now because I'm in the building process.
Building phase, you got to do it.
So it's like I have to be nonstop with it.
And like people you don't understand it unless you've done it. Unless
hard.
you've built a business, it's very hard for people to understand.
It's really
what
hard.
it feels like to do it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because something takes a hit, and you either have to have a really good support system, the people around you that understand that, or like it gets really difficult.
I notice when I'm being too much. Like
Right.
I get this feeling when I'm like, okay, like it's 8-9 o'clock at night.
Right,
We've
right.
already had dinner.
Right,
Like he's been home for 2
Yeah.
hours. We only have like 2 hours before bed.
Right,
I need to put
right.
my phone down. You know,
Right,
like,
right.
or if we're with family, I try not to do that. It's just if a client texts me and I don't answer, that's money. Like,
Right.
You know,
That
if Amy texts me,
yeah.
she's got
That's-
50 other people on the
yeah,
list. I gotta
yeah,
answer
yeah.
that. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So it's a hustle. It's a constant hustle, and it's like if you want it, you gotta be ready. You gotta get it.
Do you think it's for everybody?
No.
Do you?
No.
But do you like?
If it's for everybody, I wouldn't be doing this.
Because so many people want to start a business. And my biggest advice that I tell people that want to start a business is like, don't do it.
People also want to be in the beauty industry because they think it's like popular and they think it's cute and they think it's fun, but they don't realize like
What it's like.
what it takes to really build a solid
Right,
clientele
Right. I tell that to people that in the same way.
with production.
The production, because
Yeah.
everyone thinks it's, we're going to have a camera, we're going to shoot, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
The majority of what we do is I tell everyone, we're professional movers.
Right.
And we shoot
That's
and we
exactly.
shoot sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
Hurry up and wait.
All we're doing is really breaking stuff down and moving it somewhere and then setting it up. We shoot for a little amount of time and then we break it all down
Would
again.
have never
And
noticed if you didn't tell me.
And we and then we move it somewhere. But the allure of it is
Right.
like, oh, we're just gonna be shooting Post Malone and
Yeah, it
and then
seems
we'll-
it's crazy because I have a friend who is he's a big like director, producer
Mm-hmm.
for like a lot of these big hip hop videos, and he made a post about that not too long ago. He said like, a lot of people, they just see the lights and
they
they see,
see.
but they don't see what goes on, and the snakes that are in the industry
Yeah,
that'll take
oh.
credit for your work or that'll try to snipe your clients, or there's so many different
Some
things.
snakes.
Yeah, there's a lot of snakes, but
Is
you
it
know
like-
what? That's okay. I get it. I
Is
get
like
it.
that in the beauty industry?
It's like that in any industry,
like
I
that
think.
ever. Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
it's like that in any industry. I
agree.
think, when you see what somebody has and you think that you can get it, like, by all means, like, if you want to try to snipe one of my clients, go ahead. If you can take one of my clients, like,
Sure.
they're not mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can go anywhere, especially with hair or makeup. There's so many.
Right.
Look, everybody does something different.
And
Maybe they want a different style.
Right.
Maybe they want that. It's
Right.
the same thing with photo
Same.
video.
Yeah,
it might be
everyone-
a different style that somebody.
Everyone has their own
Right.
deal.
So go do whatever you need to do.
Sure.
That's why I don't really feel competition per se. Like I feel more in competition with myself than
yeah.
I do with anyone else.
Yeah, I
and
know.
that's
Yeah, exactly.
that's just how I feel. It's
Yeah.
because like I know that I'm different from what the next person has to offer, and if they're coming to me, they're looking for me. It's
Yeah.
it's not that I'm the greatest hairstylist or the greatest makeup artist.
Sure,
like you've kind of
sure.
said, like it's about the connection, it's about the bond, it's
Right.
about what you bring to the table, your
100%,
hard work, your dedication, the
100%.
sweat. You know,
All of it,
Do
all of
do you
it.
wake up at 3 a.m. to do a wedding,
Right,
or go
exactly,
to you know
exactly.
wherever, Ohio, or to Holiday Inn or whatever the hell we do? Like, you know what I mean? Do you work in the snow and the sleet
Yeah.
and the?
We have,
you
and
know?
that's the difference.
Are you able to do that? Because if
And
you're not, like I
that's the
have people that
difference.
tell me all the time, well, I'm not a morning person. I can't get up and do a wedding at 5 a.m. Well, this
Well,
industry isn't for you then.
Then you shouldn't be doing it.
Then you need to go back to sleep.
Right. Then
You need
go
to
back
be
you need
to
take
be a
nap.
nurse. Yeah, you need to take a nap and get a nursing
I
degree.
think you need
No,
to-
not even do that because they work very hard. So I shouldn't say that.
you
And
need
they
to
work
find
long
a-
hours.
you need to find a bank.
Yeah, you need to be a banker
You
or
can
something.
work from 9 to 4.
Yeah, 9 to 4.
And you're
exactly.
good. That sounds like what you need. It sounds
Exactly.
like you need a 9 to 4.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's, you know.
That's pretty good.
Some people aren't built for it, and I'm glad that everybody's not built for it because then we
'cause
wouldn't be.
what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
What are we
Everybody's doing it.
It's funny though because it can be so hard, but you know, at the end of the day, I always tell myself, like, you know what, Josh, you love this shit.
Yeah.
You love what you do.
How do you find work-life balance? Do you have work-life
You
balance,
know,
Josh? I've never seen
this
you
is-
take a vacation.
I don't. I'm. You know.
I've seen you like
yeah.
get a haircut.
Yeah,
in- I've never actually seen you take a vacation. Like, do you ever take a vacation?
Yeah. Okay. So we don't vacation. I haven't been on a vacation. And sometimes like we would
Ever? I haven't been on a vacation.
were-
I was waiting for like since.
No, there's no sense in there. Like I was in. I do remember I was in London and I was shooting a thing, and then I did stay for a few days after that shoot, and I thought that was kind of nice. But honestly, I don't know. I really am one of those crazy people that I really enjoy what I do. I enjoy working.
I know you do.
I like really enjoy it. Like
I
it's
know.
fun. Like my idea of fun is like doing what I'm doing. Like
Right.
it's not, you know, I don't, and I also, and like my hobby is doing what I'm doing. So I don't have like, I'm not passionate about a lot. I'm very
Right.
passionate about this thing.
Right.
So I'm not like, I'm also passionate about surfing. I don't have another thing like that. So I like really enjoy
What you're doing
what
right
I'm
now.
doing. But I think the key for me is, I think life is about small wins. And
Okay.
so that's what I really look at myself. And the thing that I saw this, I can't remember who said it. I was watching an interview. It was somebody, and it was like, you always really have, I trained myself to look forward to something. And as long as I had one thing to look forward to,
I'm the same way.
That's
Maybe
my-
You're gonna hate this, but maybe that's a Leo thing.
yeah. God damn it.
Yeah, you can't
But
fight
yeah,
it.
But yeah, I just feel like I have one thing to look forward to, and like I do, like I fish with Champion, and
That's adorable.
And we go fishing.
That's adorable.
And you know, obviously it's not on social media or anything, but we go fishing. He's watching a lot of fishing shows, and so I was like, hey, I'm gonna get him a fishing rod. And so every chance we get on the weekend, if we're not doing something, we go fishing. So I have this like little thing that I look forward to. Now it's not a monumental vacation. We're going to the Bahamas.
That's a monumental thing
But
because
it is.
it's a chance you get to spend and bond with him.
Exactly. So it's just things like that. Like
Right.
for example, a few weeks ago, I told her I've been telling her whole life we're gonna watch Star Wars. So this time, like it was probably like a couple weeks ago, we just watched every single Star Wars in order. And
Oh,
so
wow.
those little things that I do.
How many of them are there now?
I don't know.
Like
there's
7?
There's like 13 or something. And there's a show. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
But
I think I've seen like the first one.
yeah.
That's it.
but we did that, and so those little things like that have been really cool
Right.
escapes. But no, the nature of what we do, no, you can't. If you work on the weekends, you work Saturdays, you work all day, you work all night, you do what you have to do because that's the deal, you know. That's the
Right.
deal. And you keep telling yourself too that like, well, for me, like I just really love it.
Right.
Like I honestly really love it, and I like the business growth of it too. I like trying to build something, and that's a thing. And it doesn't always go the way I think it's gonna go. Owning a business is like, I don't know, trying to like catch that little monkey or something. Like it's
Yeah.
you're trying your best. To,
Yeah,
you know?
I feel that way too. Like I'm not sure at what point I'm gonna be. I mean, I'm so early in this. Listen, my
Sure.
therapist will tell me to get. That's laughing back there. My therapist will tell me.
My
Shout out to
therapist
Luna.
Luna, what's up?
That's my girl. She helps me a lot. She keeps me sane.
Yeah.
But she will tell me that like to give it 2 years. Give it 2
Yeah.
years. Most businesses don't even
can't do it.
I'm kind of breaking even right now,
That's
which
good.
is dope. And the reason I'm breaking even is because I do a chair rental style instead of a commission style. So I don't babysit. I don't have
Right.
employees. The girls
Right.
work for themselves. Like,
Right.
it's a dope situation right now. So I kind of walked into that being a good situation, but it's still a lot of work. Like, there's still a lot of work that's going into it. And I don't know, man. It's just, it's a crazy thing. So I don't know, like, at what point I can really turn around and be like, I feel successful,
Okay.
you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know when I'll feel that.
Interesting.
Do you ever give yourself a day to just, like, not,
Do anything?
to, like, recharge? Like, do you
Yeah.
ever give yourself
Sometimes
that? I
like-
need that.
Yeah, sometimes I get these little recharge days. They don't happen that often, but sometimes I'll get to a point where I'm like, guys, I'm going to stay at home
Yeah.
and I'm going to, like, watch a season of something.
For me, it's Friends all
Yeah.
day.
I like watching.
so white in that
I watch
aspect.
Seinfeld a lot.
A Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Curb
over-
is very
Yeah.
good.
But I love Seinfeld.
But no, I just, like, sometimes I'm just like, I need to be at home and I
Yeah.
need to, like, watch Ozark.
Yes, I know those days. I have those days every once in a while where I'm like, I just need
Yeah.
it.
I
Or
could tell when I'm like,
Society is not going to like me.
yeah. And then I need to, when I need to, like, I'm being the most and I need to, like,
Right.
just, okay, let me take a time. And,
Exactly.
and I do, and I have stuff like that I enjoy, like, but 2020 was really difficult. It was
weird.
It was weird because, like, some of those little outlets that you had, you, like, everyone always asks me, like, hey, Josh, where do you live? And I always say, like, I don't really know. I live on a plane. I think I live on JetBlue. I think, and because we fly so much, and you know how it is. We'd be like, hey, DeAnna, it's like tomorrow.
Right.
And you're like, is it really tomorrow? I'm like, I don't really know.
It might be 2 p.m. today.
It could be, it could be right now.
It might be 2 hours ago.
It could be 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
And then, so we got really used to doing that. And so
Right.
I didn't really know what being home was like.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the pandemic was weird because it was just like we were grounded. I've never been grounded before. I didn't fly from March till, what did I didn't fly till? March to what?
That's better than
maybe
me.
March to November or something.
I haven't been anywhere for work.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
like,
that
get
was,
on a plane life.
so I didn't realize that was like a little therapy session.
Yeah.
Josh goes to Chicago, stays in his hotel room, woosah.
Right.
Even though I'm in a shoot, but that was just still a
Yeah.
woosah
Yeah.
moment for me. And and I was doing that, on a weekly basis.
Definitely.
So then to go to not doing that was,
You're just like kind of stuck in your own thoughts.
it
Like
was crazy.
For me, it was funny to watch things happen because my boyfriend Nick's very introverted and like
Right.
he could stay at home and work on his laptop
And he's fine.
and do that. I'm like, I need to be social.
I need to go do something.
I need to talk to people.
I
I
need
need
to
to
see
touch
somebody.
people.
Right.
I need to, I'm very like interactive. I have to be that way.
Wow.
I'm always on the go.
What do you what's your biggest business regret and what do you love the most about what you're doing?
That's a really good question. No one's ever asked me that before. I don't really have a big business regret. I could say the only thing is I wish I maybe would have started in my career a little bit earlier, but I wouldn't be who I am without what
Yeah.
I've been through. So it's hard for me to say that
Okay.
with confidence.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
And then what do you enjoy most about your business? Or being a business owner?
I would say the freedom to do whatever the fuck I want. I could take a client. I could tell you to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like I could take a job. I could
Not-
say no.
yeah.
Like that is the most wonderful thing I think that
Nice.
has ever existed for me because I hate working for other people.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's
I
not you.
hated it.
It's not you.
Yeah. I don't like to be told when to shit. Like I don't like it.
Well, tell everyone where to follow Blondie's. Tell everyone if you're local to Fort Lauderdale, if you're watching this in Fort Lauderdale, tell everyone where it is too, so everyone can
Definitely.
get their
Blondie's
shit
Beauty
right.
Salon. Yeah, for sure. Blondie's Beauty Salon. It's in Oakland Park.
Bang.
Right outside Fort Lauderdale.
Bang.
Close to the beach. Really cute location. We have good parking.
Yeah.
We're COVID safe.
COVID safe.
Very clean.
You guys got
at
the thing.
Blondie's
You got the
Beauty
shield.
Salon.
You got a shield.
I don't use the shield,
You
but
got
I do
mask?
use a mask. Yeah, we do use a mask.
I see people with the shield, and I'm like, okay, we fucking get it.
Yeah, I'm not doing surgery,
We
but
fucking get it.
I'm doing makeup and hair. It's all right. But yeah, at Blondie's Beauty Salon on Instagram, Facebook, blondiesbeautysalon.com. We have like a link tree on Instagram. It's
Look at-
fancy, so
boom.
you can just go there.
Boom.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. At Kahn I Do Your Hair is my personal / freelance page.
Find her.
And yeah, you
Bang.
guys hit me up if you need hair or makeup.
This
for
is
sure.
Uncreative Radio with DeAnna Kahn.
Thank you so much for having me.